If there's one thing that the movie Final Destination taught us, it's that when death comes knocking at your door, there's no escaping it. But these people had lady luck on their sides and managed to escape tragedies by a whisker. Let's get to know the 10 lucky people who avoided disaster in unbelievable ways. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Watch out for the shocking clip of our #1 pick. His terrifying accident was caught on video. Now, let's hear their survival stories. Number 10. Crotch 22. In 2008, a group of friends wanted to start the new year with a bang, so they went on an off-road trip in a snowy mountain. But their driving adventure took an unexpected turn when the driver crashed into a fallen tree. One of the tree's branches pierced through the Jeep and aimed straight for the driver's crotch. One wrong move and his manhood is done for. Fortunately, the seat blocked the branch from pushing further. A few inches forward could have ended up in a very, very painful injury. And if the branch just slightly skewed to either side, the driver's legs may have been impaled. If you went absolutely nuts over that story, prepare to be blown away by our #1 pick. Number 9. Tree strikes. Sure, trees are great at providing shade, but sometimes if you park up the wrong tree, your precious car can be smashed by one. Fortunately, the owners of these cars can heave a sigh of relief because Mother Nature spared their wheels. Trees were uprooted and were scattered along the road after a storm had just passed through Chicago. But this silver sedan got lucky because when a tree fell on top of it, the branches protected it from the massive wooden trunk. How fortunate is that? Meanwhile, this automobile was also saved by the tree's shape, as the trunk's curves perfectly outlined around the car. If this was a van or any other bigger vehicle, they probably would have been crushed to smithereens. Number 8. Trees Company. To complete our trifecta of tree-related accidents, this one proved that a few seconds can spell the difference between life and death. A lumberjack was chopping this tree in Lewisham, London, and it fell right at the time when a cyclist was just passing by. The kid made it through just in the nick of time. Had he pedaled a few seconds slower, he might have found himself trapped, or worse, killed by the log. Maybe his guardian angel was on duty that day because that was a really close call. The Lewisham Council saw the video and was appalled at the lack of safety precautions. They also ordered an investigation to ensure that the public won't have to leave their lives to chance while dangerous road work is being done in the area. Number 7. Rolling Stones. No, I'm not talking about the rock band. One fateful day in 2014, this peaceful hill in Italy was disrupted by a landslide which caused 2 huge boulders to roll all the way down a vineyard, leaving a trail of destruction worth millions of dollars. One of the boulders smashed through the 300-year-old barn of a farmhouse before eventually stopping near an older stone which had apparently fallen prior. A second massive rock also slid downhill, heading towards the direction of the house. But by some miracle, it stopped just a few feet away from the house and a parked car. If it continued to roll, it would have crushed the house and everything along its path. Thankfully, the residents were unharmed, but geologists believe that due to the landscape, more rocks could still break off from the cliff. Number 6. Saved by the beer. We all know that excessive drinking is dangerous to our health, but having some happy hour booze every once in a while doesn't hurt. In fact, it could be life-saving too. While golf is generally considered a harmless sport, getting hit by flying golf balls can still be a dangerous ordeal. In fact, studies say that getting hit in the head by a golf ball can cause serious brain damage. Good thing when something like this happened to one guy, he was drinking his beer just at the right moment. So instead of knocking him out, the flying ball scored a hole-in-one in his can. What are the odds? Cheers to his second lease on life.
Cheers. Cheers.
Number 5. Hitting the nail on the knee. This is an X-ray image of a man's leg after a freak accident caused 2 nails to get embedded in his knee. The Chicago man, who goes by the name Jesse, said it was his second day on a carpentry job when he accidentally stepped on a gas hose connected to the nail gun, which then fired onto his knee. Ouch! When he was brought to the hospital, the nails couldn't be yanked out. He had to undergo surgery. Jesse screwed up really bad, but as luck would have it, neither of the spikes punctured his kneecap or femoral artery, which would have resulted in a life-threatening injury. Doctors even told him they've never seen such a superb aim. Guess the gun totally nailed it. Number 4, an axe to grind. This car was cruising through a highway north of Boston when, out of nowhere, an axe smashed through its windshield. How random is that? According to the Massachusetts State Police, a landscaper failed to secure the tools he was transporting in his truck. As he drove along the highway, the tools slid and the axe hurled through the windshield and landed on the dashboard of the car behind. Police said that the driver sticking to the speed limit was what probably saved their lives. They also said the passenger was shaken up from this freak accident, but was safe from any physical harm. While we're on the subject of objects smashing through cars, number 3, pedal to the metal. Here's another car that was a victim of loose items behind a truck. The truck was carrying sheets of steel when the cargo broke loose and bam! One of the sheets skewered this car like it was barbecue on a hot grill, and the steel sliced through all the way to the other end of the car. Luckily, there were no souls for the Grim Reaper to collect, as there were no other passengers, and the driver allegedly got out of the incident unscathed. Had the sheet fallen a few inches to the right, or had there been people sitting in the front or in the back? Well, I'll leave it up to your imagination. Number 2. Perfect save. In March 2016, Florida dad Sean Cunningham took his son Landon out to a baseball game for the kid's 9th birthday. It was a spring training game between the Pirates and Braves, and Landon was on the phone telling his mom about his first major league trip. During the game, outfielder Danny Ortiz lost control of his bat, which then flew into the stands, heading straight to Landon's head. Fortunately, his father had lightning-fast reflexes, and he managed to stick out his arm before the bat struck his boy's face. It then flipped over and gave Landon a slight thump in the back. Not as bad as it would have been if the 2-pound wooden bat slammed him head-on. His dad got a bruise, which eventually healed because he's secretly a superhero. As a souvenir, they got to keep the bat, and the Braves gave him a jersey autographed by his favorite player, Atlanta All-Star first baseman Freddie Freeman. Now that's how you turn a disaster into a home run. Before we go to our number 1 pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on the notifications in your app settings. Number 1. Balancing act. The way this guy escaped the clutches of death is so shocking, it's unbelievable. A car's dash cam was on, and it captured the exact moment when a BMW decided to change lanes and a motorcycle came rushing from behind. The bike crashed violently right into the BMW, throwing the driver out into the air. But wait! He somersaults and lands on his feet on top of the moving car. I think I saw that on Cirque du Soleil once. Let's see that again. The car eventually brakes and the guy casually gets off. Have we found the real-life Spider-Man? According to Egyptian news, the incident happened in Mogilev in Belarus, and the Suzuki motorcycle was reportedly traveling at a speed of 85 kilometers per hour. The video generated a lot of funny comments and a number of doubters too. Some video experts claim that the footage looked edited. We don't know for sure, but we'd like to believe this guy is one lucky and nimble bastard. So, who among them impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Want more incredible caught on cam moments? Then don't miss our countdown of the 10 most surprising videos you will ever see. Till then, stay alert, Fact Fanatics, and see you in the next video.